This thing's looking awesome.
It looks really good.
It's cool.
We're back on the Golden Nugget. This week, we called one of our buddies from St. George. This is Kyle. He came up from St. George to help us this entire week to where we can get ready to paint it. So he's been a tremendous help. He's gonna be here all week helping me out. This is Kyle. Go check him out, Night Shift Customs. We'll have a link in the description. He's already been working on the sides. We've got this side done and the other side done. We're gonna be masking it up so we can put polyester primer on it. The roof is finished. As soon as Mother Nature cooperates, we're gonna push it outside and take it into the paint booth. But right now it's snowing. This side is all finished. We've got up over the cowl done, and this side is all bodywork too. We didn't bore you guys with all the sanding. It's all masked up, ready to get papered, bagged, and polyester primed. So we've got the parts coming over from the paint shop. We're gonna get them all blocked out, prepped, and get them ready to get painted. Kyle's bringing them over. We've got the fender, the grill support, the hood, everything coming over so that we can get it all prepped out. We're gonna be taking the Golden Nugget around into the paint shop. We're gonna be getting it in the booth and polyestering it. So we're starting blocking the final primer. So I'm gonna block it out with 320 and then we're gonna guide coat it again and 600 it. And this thing will be ready to be shot with gold paint. Very expensive gold paint. Mother Nature's cooperating for just a few minutes. We've got the Golden Nugget outside. We've got all the bodywork all the way around it finished. Hillbilly's driving it and I'm pushing it. You just can't help but make motor noises when you push something like this.
Papa Willie.
Into the booth again. All right, we're gonna get this blown off right here, put it in the booth, mask it all up, and we're polyestering the body. This is a huge step. We're getting that much closer. After the polyester cures out, we'll block it all down, we'll final prime it. That's gotta sit for a couple of days, then we'll be prepping it and getting this thing painted. We are nearing the finish line, and I couldn't be happier. We're that much closer to Ed getting this back. Paul's gonna have it by the end of the month. He's gonna be able to get it to run. Then it's headed over to get upholstery, then we're giving it back. We got a lot of stuff coming up. We're super excited about it. All right, we're in the booth. So we're gonna grab the plastic and the paper, we're gonna get this thing all masked up, and then it's polyester time. I got a surprise. My supervisor came to town. What are you doing? Adley came in to make sure that me and Hillbilly are doing it right, so she plopped her chair down and she's gonna be watching us, making sure we're taping it all out correct. Everything's all masked up. We're gonna wax and grease it, blow tack and static it, and then we're polyester priming it. So we've got a lot to do, but we've got a lot done. Oh, there's Cody. Well, Cody and Hillbilly are gonna help me get this all waxed and greased. So now we're gonna blow tack and static it all off, and it's time to polyester the whole outside. We're putting 3 coats of poly primer on it. Then we'll put that last guide coat on it, seal everything in, and in a couple of days, we'll start blocking it out. We've got everything blown tack and static. We're gonna get the polyester put on now. I've got Hillbilly filming. Hey guys. We're gonna show you this first coat, then I'll just bring you back in as soon as it's all done. First coat is done. I'm gonna put 2 more coats on, guide coat it, and then bring you guys back in, but it's looking good. Super happy with the way this is going and the progress. It's coming along nice. We're all polyestered, we got it guide coated. It's turning out awesome. So we're gonna show you what it looks like, then we're gonna get back to work on the rest of the parts with Kyle. All right, this is still curing, but it's dry to the touch. We're gonna back it out. We're gonna push it out. All right, got it out.
It's like a golf cart.
All right, we're getting ready to do the final prime, final sand on the 2 front doors, and then we got to block out the rear door after this and get it ready for paint. As you can see in the background, that baby's epoxied and ready for another block session. Polyester, not epoxy. I lose track of what stage we're on this thing already. And right now we're laying down etch on the bare metal spots first before we hit it with the regular primer.
So Kyle was working super hard today. Got all the bodywork finished up. Got a few touch-ups to do on these doors. So Cody's getting them primed up. Everything is in final primer other than the body. Tomorrow, we're gonna start blocking this out. Once it's final primed, it's gotta sit for about a week. We're gonna be working on all the parts, getting those all ready, waiting for that to cure out and everything shrink up like it's supposed to before we prep it. Then we're gonna be putting on the gold. But it's late, we're tired, so it's tomorrow. Okay, so Kyle's been hard at it the entire week. We really appreciate everything that he's put into this. It got us way further ahead than we would have been. So he's got all the bodywork done. We polyestered it, it's all blocked down. All we need to do now is prime the body itself, prep it back down, and paint it. He's got all the parts, the doors, the hood, the grille support, and the fenders. Everything is ready to paint. We've even got our hinges all sanded down. They're ready to be bolted on. We've got a lot of stuff done, and this is moving right along. Anyway, we appreciate Kyle for coming up from St. George. Go check out Kyle Lauman on Facebook. Go check out Instagram at Night Shift Customs. Anyway, he's gonna get on his way.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
It's been real. It's been fun.
I really appreciate it.
It's almost been real fun.
Yeah, but not that fun. Kyle's gonna be heading off, and we're gonna be getting this thing in the booth and getting it all primed up.
All right, we're almost to the final sanding of the polyester primer on the body. We're just going through and hitting the edges and the little gutters so we can get it final primed tonight. Let it set a few days and shrink in and air out so we can do the final sand for paint.
So we're mounting up our bead locks for the Can-Am project. We've got our System 3 wheels, just putting a little bit of soap on it. Putting soap on it so that these new BFG KM3s will slip on bead. One swift motion. Just kidding, 2 swift motions. So now what you wanna do is you gotta seat this bead down on the lip. Now that the wheel and tire are on, gotta put your lock ring. It's like 25,000 bolts. All right, we'll get these all tightened up. Okay, so we looked up the torque specs for the BF Goodrich KM3s with bead locks, and it's 3 ugga-duggas. So we went around and ugga-duggaed it 3 times. Done. Now comes the big boom. Big boom. Hey, we gotta put 850 pounds of pressure in it. Y'all ready for this? Everybody back, run! It's really not that scary. They're scared, so everybody's standing away from me for the big boom.
We are.
Here it comes. Got it. All right, the reason I took the valve stem out is because it takes about 40 PSI to get the bead to set, and I want these at 15 PSI, so. Once it changes its pitch on the airflow, I put the valve stem back in it. That's how I know I'm done. These are designed to run at about 5 PSI when you're in the sand or crawling on rocks, but to run it around, I'm just gonna run them at 15 PSI. Just like that, it's done. All right, so we've got all the edges and everything sanded. We're gonna blow this thing off and we're gonna pull it around into the booth and we're gonna get this final primed. It's all coming together. Before you know it, the Golden Nugget is gonna be all one color again. We're gonna be getting the exhaust Cerakoted, so we've gotta take it up to a blaster. So I'm gonna hurry and pull it off and then we're gonna push this around. All right. So we gotta hurry and pull the O2 sensor out and then this header will come right out.
Oh, was that tight?
Yeah, it's pretty dang tight.
Jeez.
Came right out though. Look at that. Got it out.
One little header from the Golden Nugget.
Okay, so we're gonna take this up, get it blasted, because we're Cerakoting this and we're Cerakoting the entire exhaust system. That's for another episode. Okay, Cody's just gonna get this all blown off. We wanna blow it over here, that way we don't do it in the booth. Probably can't hear me because of the blower, but it's okay. Kids wanted to go for a ride, so we had them hop in. Okay, to the booth, we're gonna hurry up and get it masked, then we're gonna shoot some primer on it. As soon as it's masked, we're gonna wax and grease it, blow tack and static it, and then we're putting 3 coats of primer on everything. Actually, the doors, we're just gonna put a coat on it, just real quick. We were gonna seal everything, but we found out that we can't get white sealer, so back to the drawing board. So we're just gonna cover up all our breakthroughs, sand it all up, and we're gonna paint it next week, so you will not wanna miss it. Next week is the big paint video. We're pretty excited, nearing completion. A lot of work, but it's totally worth it. Getting it all taped out. Cody's got it all cut. We're meeting in the middle right here. Scotch Brighten all the hard to get areas, then we're primering it. All right, it's that time. Blow, tack, and static. I'm gonna start with the static control gun. I'm gonna blow it, tack it, static control it. All we gotta do is final prime this, prep it, then paint it. We're nearing the finish line. Any of you that bet that it was gonna be down the middle of May, should have put money on it. You'd have been right. All right, so we're gonna first put down our metal etch, then we're going straight to primer. All right, so for those of you that are new to the channel, make sure you go check out the other videos of the Golden Nugget. It'll make all this progress make sense. What I just did is I put down metal etch. What the metal etch does is it bites into the metal and the primer actually sticks to the etch that sticks to the metal. If I just put down primer without putting etch, it's not gonna stick to the metal. It's not an epoxy. Give this about 5 minutes to flash. What flash is that's time that it allows the solvents to evaporate out of the product. We'll end it flash, but we'll be right back. Got it all blow, tack, static, etched. It's primer time. It's also dinner time. Okay, we got our first coat of primer down. We're gonna shut the camera off, do 2 more coats, then we'll bring you in when we guide coat it and show you what it looks like. It's turning out awesome. It's light at the end of the tunnel, and I'm super excited about that because that is 1 step closer to Ed having it, 1 step closer to all of you guys getting to come and see it, and you're gonna love it.
They're gonna love it.
Heck yeah, they are. So I just guide coated everything. I'm gonna explain why I don't always use aerosol guide coat when I'm doing big jobs. It just took an entire can of this guide coat to do this much guide coating. So that's why I throw a little bit of base coat in my primer and shoot it out. It's a lot more even and consistent. This is really speckled. This is just fine, and it's what we use pretty much all the time, but it's much easier when you put it in the gun and shoot it with your gun. That's it for tonight. Got everything final prime. All we gotta do is prep it. It is tomorrow. Look who's here this morning. We got everybody.
There's me.
What's up?
Oh, who's that?
It's just me. It's just me.
The way it's sitting right now, everything is jammed and it is in final primer. The only thing we have to do now is sand for another 5 weeks. And then it'll be ready to paint.
It looks really good.
It's cool. You got all the bolts out.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
No problem.
Awesome.
I took all the easy ones out. It's looking good. Do you know what I look
Partially
forward to
gold.
least about it? I'm gonna have the first opportunity to scratch it while I'm putting it back together.
That's why it's not getting polished.
Everyone's gonna have their pocket knives out of pockets, all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff when it's going back together. This thing's looking awesome.
This is gonna be so
It
cool.
is.
Ed's gonna drive it around the yard. People are gonna come and look at it, get their picture by it, and Ed's just gonna beam for the rest of his life.
Well, I hope so.
What is this for?
I don't know, an access cover.
I know, but what does it access?
It's where you put your cooler.
We often wondered that when we were working on it. We're like, it's a door, but it goes to nowhere. It's gonna be cool. The stance on it turned out perfect.
I didn't realize that this color was gonna be so perfect. Ed picked it for the Rokon, and I'm like, oh, that's cool, but it fits. It fits perfectly.
The Golden Nugget will be at Fab Rats no later than May 30th.
Whoop whoop!
Then you've got a couple weeks.
I'm ready.
I'm guessing Paul has 2 or 3 weeks tops.
Yeah.
Then we got upholstery, which is really fast because it's just the headliner.
Yep.
He's putting a
all that
headliner in this?
stuff.
Oh, I wish I'd have known that. That roof was miserable to paint.
Oh yeah.
He loves them when they're painted nice.
Then our job here is done.
And then we can take it for like a maiden voyage. No one's ever driven this farther than.
You guys can sit in the seats. I'm Indian style in the back.
Oh yeah.
They call it crisscross applesauce now.
Okay, I am going to be crisscross applesauce in the back of the Golden Nugget on its maiden voyage.
No.
What do you think Ed's reaction?
He's not gonna have one.
I bet he just stands there.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like
He loves stuff like this.
We are all gonna bet on what Ed's reaction is gonna be.
All right. So I think Ed is gonna be super happy. He's not gonna say a lot, but he's going to beam for like a month or longer. That's what
I
I'm
agree.
thinking.
That's
all of you guys that are talking about how he's gonna start crying and stuff, I don't think he's going to. I don't think he's gonna cry.
I kind of think he's gonna be like, well, you didn't have to do all that.
I bet you he utters
Yeah.
those words
Yeah.
at some point.
Yeah.
Yep, I'll bet he
Like,
does
what did you
too.
go to all that trouble for?
But he's gonna love it.
And he's
He is
probably
gonna
gonna
love
say,
it.
well, the wooden door was okay.
Gonna
I
be
think
internal.
once the hood's popped and he starts seeing that it's not just paint, that's when it's gonna sink in what really happened.
Do you know why it costs so much?
Why?
Takes me freaking hours.
Nice song.
This is the fender that Paul asked me not to do anything with.
Oh yeah,
So I need to have him. It's like Christmas.
I bent that perfectly. Just leave it.
Come on. Christmas morning.
Oh, look at that. It's smooth without all the dings in
You're
it.
like,
You like that?
That is nice.
wow. Good
That's
job.
where the carburetor sets right there. Or the throttle body, so you gotta have that.
Good job, Robby.
I'm done. You can repossess it now.
Maybe make it gold and then we'll do it.
Speed bump gone.
Perfect. Hey, do you need a job?
I do.
Okay, you're hired.
You want to start me on the sanding?
Absolutely. We almost missed this, but Paul has not got to see the front grill yet.
Yeah, the
So-
grill I brought was junk.
It was
really.
absolute junk. So
Yeah.
what had happened is a viewer actually reached out to you guys. Michelle forwarded me an email. I called them. They sent me a grill they had on their wall for like 20 years.
That's cool.
Had a
That is
chain melted into the top as a bolt hole bracket.
Yeah.
And so we took it, cut
Plastic
the chain
welded
off.
that
plastic.
It's like a built-in air compressor.
So
That
it's
is
real.
killer.
So I had to plastic weld this whole
Yeah.
tab on. And then this was broken, we plastic welded that, and then there were cracks all over.
but not full of Bondo and...
There's no Bondo in this.
Yeah, that's
There's plastic
awesome.
repair and primer.
Oh yeah.
there you go.
There we go.
I can see the reflection in this. That is pretty cool. Ed's gonna be stoked.
Perfect. All right, we've got a ton of stuff done. We've got the approval from Paul and Matt. Everything's going on track. You're gonna want to tune in next week. If you guys like this video, go check out this one.
This isn't as hard as Robbie says it is.